Well, we have Rush on in Charlotte, and we were fortunate. We had a number of clients who did not want to be in this show, but it didn't cost the radio station any revenue. We were able to move him somewhere else. I saw a great quote from a GM, and I don't remember his name. He said, I'm okay paying for content. I'm not willing to pay for trouble. And my perspective on that is I'm okay paying for trouble if it gets great ratings. So, my issue, and I think some other broadcasters' issue with Rush going forward, is his ratings in Charlotte used to be double-digit shares for men, and it's not double-digit shares for men. And agreements with Rush are you pay him an awful lot of money, and you give up an awful lot of inventory. So, going forward, our contract ends a year from now. I mean, what we would look at is where are his ratings, and does he still have value for us? So I think in the short term, that's going to be a bigger issue for him, potentially, if his ratings don't improve with broadcasters, than honestly the content issue. I mean, Howard Stern has been on the air forever, and I worked at a station where he was on the air. And while I always didn't like what he said, I did like his ratings. So I think we'll put up with content as long as you can generate great ratings.
And we also know that these kind of performers do generate great response for advertisers, especially when they get behind the brand and become a spokesperson for them. Scott, this is your world. You live in it. Thoughts on this?
I think most of this stuff is short-lived. I think we've seen it with other performers. It was the case with Imus as well, where you take the initial hit. There's no question these groups are out there and they're doing their job and they feel compelled to get together and get advertisers. It's a great way to get their message out there. I think it's almost the comments that Rush made are secondary to these groups being able to get their message out there. But I think at the end of the day, it's what Rick said. If these talented people get ratings, and the ratings drive ratings, and ratings drive performance, and get cash registers doing, then the world is good and everything takes care of itself.
Yeah, these groups are really well organized. I mean, they're smart. They're going to client Facebook pages. We've gotten maybe 100 or so calls to the radio station, and it's interesting because you can tell some people, they're reading off the same script. They're not people calling from Charlotte where we broadcast it. It's, hey, I live in North Carolina. They live in a market where they don't, where they may or may not even get Rush. So it's a general call, and actually one woman had a hard time getting through the script. I wanted her number to call her back and help her out with it because she was mispronouncing words. But it sort of is what it is, and I think Scott's right. These things generally are short-lived, and I think the long-term issue is where his rating's going to be, and our broadcaster's going to be willing to pay the freight to carry him.